Loving it. Sat in the rowan tree, mountain ash. And, I'm just sort of really inspired by the work of Neil Oliver, because we think exactly the same about so many different things. And guess what? Not only is he a presenter and he's done all that stuff like I'm doing, he's an archaeologist. He's a qualified archaeologist like me. So we've got loads in common. And his voice is the same as mine, that we see a landscape of great change out there and a great sense of ignorance. What has actually happened to Britain, And to try and sort of stay away from politics, to try and keep it to do with my archaeology, my heritage work, my acting, my writing books. And it was so reassuring to get so many sort of good positive comments the other day. And I thought I'd make this a bit longer, actually, because can I just, on the top here, just basically say, if anyone actually joins my channel, right, actually not just subscribe and press the bell, which I recommend everybody to subscribe and press the bell, right? This is one of my books, Romans in South Wales. It's on its 3rd edition. And if anyone joins my channel and you want to pay £1.99 a month, right, to support me, I will send a copy of this book to you free of charge, no postage, no nothing. Obviously, if you do join and press the join button, I'm going to somehow have to get your address off you to send you one of these. Anyway, so that's that said. Join my channel. Every penny helps. And there's also, I'll put a link down below about a donation about buy me a cup of coffee. So I want to say this week I'll be doing Tuesday and Wednesday evening. I will be looking more about the Roman era, basically, the beginnings of the Roman era in sort of Britain, but we're sort of going around Europe at this minute. And next week I'll be doing the Etruscans, right? And how the Etruscans influenced the Romans. Do you know what? I love the Etruscans. I was going to do it as part of my live show. I didn't. So what am I doing on Tuesday, Wednesday evening? Well, sign up at 7:10 on both days and watch my live. So book writing, again, I'm writing a book with Richard Enos on the history, archaeology and other stuff to do with the Barry and Cadoxton area on the South Wales coast. It might not interest lots of you because it's quite localised, but it might interest you. So I got the acting sort of thing. I've got sort of various different acting things coming up, and you'll see my hair change quite a lot to do with different acting roles and stuff. So that's coming up. And so where are we? I've done archaeology. Oh yeah, I got some archaeology report writing to do with a site outside St. Athan called Flemingston, and an excavation that we did there, and we come across some wonderful stuff. So I've got to get that published, and I've got to get that done by the middle of September. So that's a bit of a challenge. And my sheep, and I've got lots of criticism of people on TikTok at this minute to do with my sheep and what happened in January, where I was forced to dip my sheep. And I've actually had the manufacturer on the phone today asking what went wrong with the dipping of the sheep and stuff. So that's been really good. So I'll stick that on my TikTok, a response to people on there. And then sort of the political side of things, right? I've got somebody that I speak to every Monday morning, right? And it's a professional thing. And I was talking about how I felt in regards to what happened with Iraq and Afghanistan. And I'm going to say it, as a huge supporter of what the Iraqi government used to do before 2003 to people who looted and destroyed archaeological sites. They would be hung. Anyone who interfered with the history and archaeology of Iraq, because it's their identity, whatever religion they are, right? It's their identity in Iraq. Before 2003, people would be hung and executed for defiling the history and archaeology of Iraq, which, to be honest with you, I completely agreed with. I was actually going to work in the Baghdad Museum until it was overrun by American troops and wholesalely looted by British and American troops. And, you know, I was going to be there. I would have been one of those to try and defend the museum against my countrymen, and I would probably ended up dead. So this is the thing, you see. Our identity is really, really important, and who we are, and preserving and keeping that quite safe. And one thing that's not discussed at this minute, which is as dodgy as FUCK, right, is Palestine, right? So you're thinking, right, people have got to eat in Palestine. Yes, they do. They've got to have roofs in Palestine, right? They've got to have medical care in Palestine. I know all that. Don't go there. But the point is, right, how is the heritage and history playing out in Palestine, right? Because that's the identity of the future nation and nature of the people in Palestine, right? So nobody's talking about this. So if you destroy all the history and archaeology, burn all the museums, churches, synagogues, and, places of Islamic worship, if you just destroy all that, right, you've got no identity. Nobody's talking about that. They're thinking, oh, you know, we've got to feed people. That's more important. Yeah? But without identity, you don't have a Palestinian state. And this needs to be discussed. You've got to have, if you're going to set up a Palestinian state, whether you agree with it or not, you cannot have a Palestinian state without identity, right? So this is the point. You've got to be able to think about the heritage and archaeology of nations. And Iraq saw this, right? Saddam Hussein saw this, right? Colonel Gaddafi saw this, right? And yes, I was a supporter of Saddam Hussein and what he did in Iraq, right? Oh yeah, you can sort of have a go at me for that, what you can, right? But I was looking at it from a truly historical, archaeological point of view. And the same with Colonel Gaddafi, right? Now we've got Colonel Gaddafi out of power and we've got Saddam Hussein, right? The archaeology is being trashed and destroyed. The identity of the people of Libya is dependent on what's around them. And if you destroy it, you've got no identity. Don't give a damn what religion you are, right? That's your identity. That's what Saddam Hussein saw. Saddam Hussein was a Muslim, right? But he still saw everything around him as being important. Babylon had nothing to do with Islam, right? Had nothing to do with Christianity. But he saw the origins of his country at the root of his people's identity. So you want me to talk frankly? I will more. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and again, if any of you have made this far, if you join my channel, right, join $1.99 a month, $3.99 a month, or whatever you do, I will send you a copy of Romans in South Wales. You'll love it. Thank you very much, and more to come. Thank you.